morning, everyone. Welcome to Is with the Reps at Diesel Bookstore. We are happy to see you this morning. Every Wednesday, we get together here in our safe book space with our publishing professionals, our publishers' representatives, our booksellers, authors, and we discuss all of the new coming and recently released titles that everybody's really excited about, wants to tell you about. We have the ultimate professionals here to explain everything to you and to get you very excited about, if you weren't already, which you probably were, make you even more excited about what's coming up and tell you all about it so you can order them. And we're going to talk all about these books. I have three wonderful reps with us today to tell you everything. But first, I do want to tell you about some events coming up at Diesel. First, we have coming up tonight, in fact, at 6:30 p.m. Today is the 20th, and that's tonight at 6:30. We have Cynthia Li, MD, and she will be at the store discussing and signing The Medicine of Flow, Harmonizing Your Inner State for Effortless Healing. That's going to be tonight at 6:30. But then I also want to just look ahead for a minute and let you know that on June 3rd, which is in 2 weeks, we have an exclusive interview here on Elevenses with Lisa C. We're super excited about that. And she's going to be talking about, among other things, her new book that's about to be released called Daughters of the Sun and Moon. It's amazing, and she's going to be amazing. So that's in 2 weeks. I'll talk about it again next week. And then the day after, I just want to make sure everybody knows, on the 4th of June at 6:30 p.m., we have Summer Rep Night. We have rep picks with 5 of our wonderful reps, and they're going to be at the store in person and live, talking about some very exciting books. All of that information, we're going to have raffles, we're going to giveaways. It's just really going to be a great night and a lot of fun. And you can learn even more about it and all of the events coming up at Diesel at www.dieselbookstore.com. And you can click right through and find out everything you need to know. As for the books we talk about today, those are going to we're going to have links right below the screen there in the chat box, and you can so you can click on those later and order them. All right, so what books are we talking about today? Well, let me introduce our reps, and they can tell you. So joining us today, we have Andrea Tetrick from PGW. We've got Kristin Rasmussen from Scholastic, and Dave Ehrlich from Chronicle Books. Ooh, this is going to be so good. I'm very excited about everything today. Dave, why don't you lead us off?
Sure, sounds good. Thanks, Deborah. Thanks, Diesel, for having me. I'm going to start off today with maybe one of our very, very biggest releases from Chronicle Books for the season, from our spring list. This hit stores yesterday. This is the spectacular and unstoppable Cake Picnic from a fantastic author, Elise Sunga. This, like I said, landed in stores yesterday. I've been talking about it for months and months, and I am really excited for it to finally be out in the world, as I know Elise is, and as I know Chronicle Books are. This is just an exuberant, thrilling, and beautiful, beautiful book celebrating cake, cakes of all varieties, but ultimately, hence the word picnic, celebrating the social gatherings that you can build around baking cakes, sharing cakes, exploring cakes. And I'll give you a little background on what Cake Picnic means and how you can achieve a cake picnic of your own. Elise Sunga grew up in the Philippines. She grew up eating a lot of desserts and snacks that are unlike American baked cakes. Things with coconut, things that were very sugar-based, things with like mango and coconut, etc. And she really, for much of her childhood, did not experience what we in America think of as like lavish, indulgent cakery. When she moved to the States as a teenager, she was blown away when she realized the beauty of cakes and the diversity of cakes. And she became absolutely cake obsessed. She taught herself to bake as she got into her adult years. Christina Tosi's milk bar cookbooks were a really big deal to her. She began teaching herself how to bake. For instance, she would make the different layer cakes out of the milk bar cookbook, and then in her head be like, how can I turn each of these layers in this cake into an individual donut? So she began to experiment. She began to kind of push her abilities to learn how to make different cakes. And then she had this idea because she had met so many people through social media and different kind of real life permutations of bakers. She thought, you know what? I'm going to just put an invitation out. She lives in San Francisco. I'm going to have people meet me in Dolores Park and I'm going to tell them to bring a cake and we'll see what happens. Well, this is what happened. The very first time she did this and said, hey, come to the park, bring a cake, 183 cakes arrived with their bakers and owners in tow. 183 people saw this on social media and were like, yeah, I'd like to bake a cake and show up in a park and eat other people's cakes. It was like a smash success. She had no idea how it was going to go. She began to get media attention everywhere for this from around the world. Ireland, Singapore, Chile, England, France, Argentina, the Philippines, Japan, Korea. Everybody contacted her and said, we want to do this. We have to do this. So she began taking Cake Picnic on tour around the country as a concept. She brought it to Los Angeles. 53 cakes arrived. She took it to New York. Over 300 cakes were brought by attendees. And when they brought it back to San Francisco triumphantly, an incredible 613 cakes were baked and brought to, I hope you can see this, the Legion of Honor in San Francisco, right in front of the building on that beautiful lawn. This is indeed a massive and spectacular cake picnic. The first half of the book talks about how to conduct your own picnic, how to create a theme, what sort of cakes fit into that theme, how to create the invites, how to lay linens out on tables, all kinds of things, creating a flavored lemonade station at your cake picnic, because who doesn't want delicious flavored lemonade alongside yummy cake? So the first half is all the kind of just raw material of how to pull this endeavor off. The real heart of the book and the really exciting part, of course, are the 50 amazing recipes filled throughout. So she creates sections, do a winter cake picnic, for example. And her suggestions for something like a winter cake picnic, anise glazed chocolate loaf cake. Sounds wintry and sounds yummy. There's a torched rosemary caramel cake, which is unbelievable looking. I have to have this. I love rosemary. A smoked molasses persimmon cake. Stop it, you're killing me.
Wow.
I know, it's just ridiculous. This is like one
Yeah.
of those books that you get sucked into and you just start dreaming of just eating every single damn thing in the book. She goes through the seasons. There are different, like I said, themes around these cake picnics that you can create. It is just like a super exuberant, super joyous book. And this is maybe the one I'm most fascinated by. Chocolate cake with potato chip toffee. There's an entire themed picnic, which is called Salty Sweet Cake Picnic, right up my alley. This is just such a lovely book. We are getting really crazy press for this. It has been featured in Cherry Bomb, Bon Appetit, I believe Food and Wine. It's getting a ton of national attention, very exciting, and it's just a hit right out of the gate. And I love this quote from the SF Standard. This encapsulates it perfectly. Part entertaining guide and part cake gallery. This is a vision of stacked layers, whooshed buttercream, and over-the-top florals. The cake party, it seems, is just getting started. So on sale in stores as of yesterday, $29.95 hardcover. Let's have a cake picnic.
Well, obviously, I love this
Obviously.
book. Yeah.
Right. I knew you would.
So excited when I saw these two words together, cake and picnic on it. I mean, like, what else do you need? But it is a spectacular, beautiful, unusual, and just absolutely delightful book. I love this book. I mean, it's befitting of all the attention it's getting, and I think
I think
an
so.
absolutely fabulous gift, but also a great idea and a jumping off place for you to be create. I love books that give you something but also make you think beyond the recipe that you've been given or the idea, and then it sets your mind going, and you can and you can have fun with it. And the idea of community and picnic and with cake, I mean, come on.
I mean, really, it makes
It's
people happy.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
And you don't
everything.
have to have 183 cakes at your first cake picnic. You can have like 6. I
Yeah.
mean, I would like 183.
I mean,
The thought of trying all these bites of different cake is the exciting part, because then you get to
it's so
try.
great. It's so
And
great.
there's nothing wrong with having 6 slices of cake at a picnic. No one's going to tell you no. You're allowed.
Fabulous book. So fun. Thank you, Dave. Kristin.
Hello.
Hello.
I don't know how I can top the cake picnic. That's going to be really tough. I want to go to one of those badly, but I will try to keep the food theme going with my next choice, which is let's see if Joey has the same one that I have. I have Ross Barak's How Not to Make a Jelly Sandwich as my, oh, there it is. There's that great cover as my first selection for you all today. I know when I first read this book, I thought it was so silly and funny and just absolute silly perfection. And I know that my wonderful buyer at Diesel took some and said they should be in stock. And I was really pleased to see that when Ross recently went out on tour a few weeks ago, he toured around California and some other spots. The kids went crazy for this book. It is absolute joy in book form. Basically, it takes that kind of age-old concept that we've all experienced when we were little kids, and your teacher says to you, do a how-to essay, and you have to fill in the blank, how to whatever. We've probably, it's a universal experience. We've all been faced with it. And this is just such a great take because it's how not to do something. So I'll read one little spread that I found this morning that I thought was particularly great. And I can't show you the illustrations, unfortunately, but trust me, they're adorable. One of the spreads said, summon 2 knights to the center of the arena. Just picture that. And gently place 1 slice of bread on the tip of each knight's lance, jelly side out. Lastly, commence the joust. Charge! So imagine, if you will, the 2 knights jousting with jelly sandwiches on the end of their lances, and you have how not to make a jelly sandwich. Surrender to the silly. You will love this book. Your kids will love this book. It is absolutely adorable and fun.
So cute. So cute. And so I just really think it captures that, the stuff that kids come up with, just like off the cuff,
Brilliant.
Stream of consciousness stuff. And you can just go, and that's sort of where the creativity starts. And
exactly. I think part of it too is in Ross's presentations, just when he's gone to schools, and he did quite a few of those. At the end of it, he does this kind of brainstorming session with the kids where they fill in a blank how not to do XYZ, and the answers were just so brilliant and funny. Yeah. So there will hopefully be more of these because I love this concept and kids love it, and it's just his illustrations are so charming and fun. Definitely look for that one. It's great.
Adorable. Thank you, Kristin.
Of course.
Yeah. Andrea.
Hey, thanks for having me. This is going to be something completely different. Thank goodness, because if I had a kid's book, I think it may pale in comparison. Before Joy puts up the cover, well, you saw that quickly. It's a very small trim size, this book. It's really quite lovely. It's adorable. It's an adorable trim size. 144 pages for $22. It's actually, that's how much paperbacks cost these days. So it's actually a great deal. This is the last movement, and this is from Europa Editions. So it's by Robert Seethaler, the great Viennese novelist, and it's translated by Charlotte Collins. And this is just a compact prose poem, basically, set in 1910 as Gustav Mahler, the great composer, is old and frail, and he's ruminating on art, love, life, as he sails home to Vienna from New York City. It's just a great little hardcover, as you saw there. It's just a beautiful package, and I think it's sure to delight fans of Seethaler's work, but it will bring new fans to his to his fan club for sure. Michael Reynolds, the executive editor at Europa, called this a luminous miniature of a novel, a jewel. And a German language magazine called it, wait, let me see, right back here, a triumph of literature over death. Gotta love that endorsement, right? Now, the most recent novel that Seeler has published in the United States from Europa is A Cafe with No Name that booksellers adored. It's sold very well in the indies. A nice number of those moved at Diesel, so there's a correspondingly nice stack at Diesel right now. So there you go, The Last Movement.
Cafe with No Name I did that for a book club that we had, an in-store book club, and it just was so inspiring. I really liked it, and everybody I passed it along to really liked it too. But it had, it's kind of quiet, and his style, I think, kind of quiet but emotional and kind of deep, and went here and there without necessarily having a very clear, defined plot or idea. It just kept going, but it struck so many emotional chords with people in the book club. Brought in like pictures of the place.
That's great.
They just really got into it, and I think this one, it's his style, right? Just that very targeted, emotional, evocative kind of. That is a gorgeous cover as well.
Incredible. Well, his work is all about interiority for sure.
Right. Thank you, Andrea. I'm like searching for that word.
Every now and again, a rep will pull that word out of the hat.
I mean, it is though. That is what it is.
Yeah, and so that's and especially in this subject matter lends itself to that. I mean, Mahler's like, looking over his life and his illustrious career. So it's a perfect setup for his work.
Yeah, beautiful, and I think that too would be a great book club pick as well.
For sure.
Yeah. Thank you, Andrea. All right, Dave, back to you. I can't take any more cake, so.
No more cake. You cannot eat this next book, but it is inspiring. This is a really wonderful book from the spring list. This came out in February, called Daily Creative, The 5-Minute Habit to Rewire Your Brain. This is often when I'm on here, I'm talking about books from the other imprints under the Chronicle family, like Hardy Grant or Quadrille or whatever. This is actually from Chronicle Books, my employer. And this is a really, really engaging, very kind of compact, small, gifty, fun guide. These are 5-minute daily exercises to totally inspire creativity, make you think about being creative in a new way, and just kind of give your brain a boost. Interestingly, in the introduction to this book, they did a little informal survey and they asked people in this poll, do you identify as creative or not creative? And this is a little depressing. 75% of people think they are not creative, and 25% of people identify as being creative. That is not true. Everybody has the ability to be creative. Everybody has the kind of innate ways in which they can build their creative muscles and think in these kind of creative ways. You just have to apply, and it really helps to do something daily that kind of triggers that and strengthens your ideas. And the author of this, who is, I'm blanking out, I've been talking about this for months, I should know her name, Blythe Harris and Mallory May. Blythe has created these really just simple, I'll give you some examples, exercises, and each one of these is in a theme, like letting go of perfectionism. This is less than 5 minutes to do this. Connect each set of these 3 dots without picking up the pen or pencil. Make as many different shapes as possible while not lifting your pencil off the page. So she gives you a workbook setup on each spread. All you need to use this book is a pencil and some colored pens or pencils, because some of them involve color and different colored lines. This one, basically, you connect these dots and you move it around and you wind up making these kind of unexpected patterns and permutations. She tells you with each exercise what the mental and creative benefits are. This one boosts focus and reduces your idea of perfectionism. Sometimes perfectionism is great. Sometimes it totally paralyzes us and doesn't even let us attempt things because we shut ourselves down, before we even try. There's a really cool exercise on line and perspective, just doing things like using angles and kind of warping and changing lines. In this simple exercise, this enhances your visual spatial skills. It improves your dexterity or expands your perspective. There's even interesting kind of text-based exercises back here. There's a reverse word association exercise. This is interesting. Choose a single word and write 9 words that are not related to it. Once you have completed this list, find a creative way to connect these words into a brief story. So she's got like a little example here. That boosts your cognitive flexibility. It stimulates lateral and associative thinking. It reduces your overthinking. We all have the tendency to overthink. And it builds mental agility and adaptability. Anybody that thinks they're not creative is wrong. Basically, if you can carve 5 minutes a day, get your pens in hand, and just dip in and out of this, you will find that the more of these exercises you do, just the more intrinsically creative that you can be. We sold out of this book before it even went on sale back in February. That's always a fun thing for a rep when you're in the middle of a selling season and you have to tell people, oh, yeah, you're not going to get this. So we raced another printing that is in the warehouse now at Hachette. We are almost sold out. I think we're down to less than 150 copies. So we are rushing a third printing. To go into a third printing of a book, like just a few months after release, is outrageous. It was featured on the Drew Barrymore show. You know Drew's incredible energy and enthusiasm. She absolutely loved this book. It's getting a lot of national press. And it's just like a really sweet gift to give anybody that just wants to expand their abilities and feel more creative. And really, that's like a really healthy thing that we can all feel good about. Daily Creative on sale now. Grab it.
Yes, grab it. Absolutely. I'm glad you started with that statistic because that's what I've heard from people all the time. So I'm not creative. I can't draw or, I don't do anything like that. And creativity is really, it's such a spectrum and everybody is creative in one way or another. It's maybe you want skills to do something else, but I just think people feel very cautious about it if that's something that they do regularly. And this is such an awesome book to get that going, to stimulate it. You presented, I don't remember when it was, like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, the Sketching Outside. Or
Yeah.
what's the name of that book? Sketching Outside? Is that what
Sketching Outside.
Sketching Outside, yeah. And I gifted that book. I'm really into that book. I like it for myself. I like it for other people. So I gave a copy to my sister, who just started drawing randomly. She had like free time and just started sketching. Never done this before in her life and didn't think she could. And she's super excited about it. So these kind of things go together. It's like, you can do this, and you just have to sort of imagine yourself doing it. And that these exercises are really great for that. What an awesome gift this is for.
And it doesn't have to be perfect. You know what I mean?
No.
Do it.
I would make cakes, as you know, like very exotic, fancy cakes with a lot of designs. And people always tell me, I can never do that. I'm not creative like that. And I'm like, yes, you can. Absolutely. Like most of what I do is like covering up stuff that isn't quite perfect, So it's just like,
hey,
but it's the process. Yeah, it's the process. And that's what this little book is all about. What a great gift, I think.
I also think it's an antidote to, our phone obsessions.
100%.
Seriously.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And
Yeah.
any books that you read.
It's stimulating in a way that like scrolling is not, what's creative about
I think that's
scrolling
a
on my
very
phone.
important book. Some people are like, oh yeah, it's just a gift book or whatever. But I really think that like this, I think it's a great idea.
No, it's a fantastic idea. It's a lot. Yeah. Doing instead of just, entering prompts into,
Yeah.
Let's not go there.
Well, it's good. Anything that overrides like all of the, like the brainwashing we've all received, because that's a lot of it is like somebody told you once at school,
right,
or
that you couldn't do math or that you couldn't draw. Yes,
right.
absolutely.
Or one of your siblings was just like super talented, or one of your friends was super talented at something and you never wanted to try.
Yeah.
Because of that. I think it's just great.
Yeah, we're big fans, Dave.
Good work, Dave.
We got a
positivity.
A fourth printing right here in this little.
It's coming.
Yeah. Thank you, Dave. All right,
Thank
Kristin, back to you.
Okay. So next up, I have The Adorable Bandage Buddies by the wonderful Catherine Rommel, who both wrote and illustrated this adorable book. It came out, it's a beautiful picture book. It came out in April. And it's absolutely hilarious. The bandages are coming to the rescue in more ways than one. So this book is a perfect fit for those of you, and there are many of us who are huge fans of The Day the Crayons Quit, thematically very similar in many ways. And in this book, a band of emotional support bandages, do you see what we did there? Swoop in to save the day. I mean, it's just so great. So I'm going to read again. We're going to have a little story time here. I'll read one of the spreads. This is one of my favorites. And you have kind of the leader of the bandage buddies, and he gets a call. Bandage buddy calling in from kindergarten. We've got a little kid with big feelings. Please advise. And the leader says, bandage buddies love big feelings. Let's send over heart bandages so our kid knows it's okay to feel sad sometimes. And so the heart bandage goes and says, you got it, boss. He heads over to kindergarten for the kindergarten emergency that's facing the bandage buddies. This one is absolutely darling. Everybody loves Band-Aids. Everybody has big feelings sometimes. Maybe you don't have a boo-boo. Maybe you just have big feelings. It's worth a Band-Aid. So check this one out. I know Diesel has some copies. And that cover, how great is that cover?
I love it.
Amazing.
I love
It's
it.
so cute. It's just, I love Catherine Rommel. I think she's so funny and talented. I love her illustrations. So this one is at absolute joy. It's great.
You know, it didn't occur to me until right now how critical Band-Aids are and bandages are for kids.
Right?
I mean, it really is
Yes,
such a
it's thing.
thing that they're always that I got a Band-Aid. Whether there's something there or not. I mean, it really is
It's a big deal. And they're so much cuter now than they used to be. They're very cute.
Yeah.
If you, next time you're at the pharmacy, check out the Band-Aid aisle. You will
No,
not
it's
believe
a whole thing.
there.
I've seen it. It's a whole thing. Like it's like art. You can do
It
it.
is.
Yeah.
Right.
What you want as an adult? Oh, I want.
I know. I think I
cover
need
up
one.
my big feelings.
It's like I said, Deborah, these
Yeah.
are emotional support Band-Aids. You don't
Yeah.
need to have a cut. You could just have big feelings.
Yeah. What a great book. I love it.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
So sweet. Thank you, Kristin.
Of course.
All right, Andrea.
Thank you. My second book is from McNally Editions, and they specialize in the main in reviving titles that have gone out of print or sometimes were never printed in the United States. And that is the case here with Kitchen Venom. This is by Philip Hensher. And so this was never published in the States until now. It was a sensation when it was first published in the UK in 1996. It is slyly narrated by a young Margaret Thatcher. And you don't realize this until, a good chunk of the way through that Maggie is the narrator of this book. And it revolves around a well-respected senior clerk in the House of in the Parliament, this clerk is a father of two who prefers rent boys to the ladies, and this book would cause such a scandal that it cost the author his job as a clerk in the British House of Commons. So Hensher drew on his own experience as a clerk to write Kitchen Venom, and it was like so lethal and skewering in his portrait of official life in in the House of Commons, and basically like all through government, especially around the sexual hypocrisies during that time, that he was immediately dismissed after the release of the book. And he it did not stop him, however. After the publication, he gave an explosive interview that blew open the closet doors of Thatcher's cabinet as well. So the scandal just continued. So I think it was well worth it for him to lose his job because of everything that it brought to light, as well as the rendering, this rendering up of an incredible novel. It's the voice is so good here. Let's see, let me look at my notes. The Sunday Telegraph wrote at the time, remarkable, a stately, inexorable pavane of yearning and violence. That's nice. So there you go, folks. That's Kitchen Venom, a $19 trade paperback with flaps. Love it.
The McNally,
Yeah.
I love the French flaps on the
Yeah.
McNally editions. But I will say about McNally editions have, since you started talking about them, Andrea, whenever that was ago, I have just really expanded my literary canon for older books or books that I've never heard of before or have seen that have been they're invaluable for that. It's
Yeah.
amazing. They're such gems, just
Yeah.
forgotten or not published here or that you just wouldn't see in mainstream. They're great.
Yeah, they have a crack team of well-read editors that just their editorial sensibility is excellent, and they all have like varying sensibilities, right? This team of editors, and so it's so nice. It's like so and so is like presenting this book, and that's going to be way different than another editor's choices. And
Right.
so, yes, they do have. The theme is mostly. Every now and again, they'll do an original title, an original book, but they really are dedicated to bringing back into print true jewels that should have never gone out of print.
And the other thing I love about them is that all the books are just slightly subversive,
Oh,
and
yeah.
there's a little bit more than slightly, but that is the
True.
one thread that I think really ties them all together. You're always going to get something juicy.
Yeah, well, that's right up my alley, and I know it is
Yeah.
up your alley as well, so there
Yeah.
you go.
Thanks, Andrea. All right, Dave, start us off for the last round.
You got it. All right, I'm going to feature a kid's book right now, today. And
Stepping
wow,
on Kristin's turf.
I am stepping on Kristen's turf a little bit. But this is a book released for the World Cup mania we are all about to be plunged into. What is it, like 3 weeks away?
Is that
This is the
all?
world's,
Yeah.
I think it's June 10th or something. The world's best soccer book. Everything you need to know about soccer, the leagues, the players, the rules, the championships. This is a big book. It's a big, heavy book. I would say this is probably for like slightly older kids, maybe like 8 and up. But wow, it's like this encyclopedic celebration of soccer around the world, how it's played, who plays it. Some of the most famous players are featured in these pages. There's information in here and profiles of some of the most famous soccer championships and tournaments around the world. It starts off with a very visual kind of overview of how the game is played, who does what in what positions in soccer, what the sort of strategies are. Different like layouts of soccer fields and how it works. There's a whole section on balls and how the balls are designed and what they do and how they are aerodynamic in different ways. It talks about the players, the whole sense of teamwork, creating a team, and everybody has their kind of abilities, and the way that on a soccer team, different players will kind of play to their abilities. Throughout the game to kind of unify everyone's efforts. It just literally covers every single aspect you can imagine of soccer. What it says, though, really ultimately, is that what these amazing tournaments that we're all in love with and these amazing championships, what they do other than celebrate the game, they create lasting memories for soccer fans around the world, and they create these really special experiences that everybody shares. So, everybody is really excited about this coming. It's interesting because obviously in America, like we're so football and baseball centric, but you can see how soccer has just risen in popularity over the last few decades. And I'll tell you, there have got to be, I think we have something like 5 or 6 amazing soccer books on the Chronicle list for spring, obviously capitalizing on this World Cup frenzy. But wow, I mean, the enthusiasm is tangible and palatable. Some of the most famous teams around the world, FC Barcelona, of course, Manchester and Liverpool. Great British soccer is represented in here. And the fun thing that the book, hello, I got to show you this. Jerseys from around the world. I'm going to be a total jerk and do a bonus title here. This is a book we're also doing this season of soccer jerseys. So this is an adult title. But I had to throw in my unsolicited bonus title. So we have amazing soccer books on the list. There is like a jersey section in here, but we have a whole book of soccer jerseys. So really, it's just like a celebration. But what's really cool is that there is a 30-page graphic novel threaded throughout this book featuring, I'll show you an image, a team of animals that are all playing soccer together. And then every few chapters, the kind of facts and the little factoids and spreads are interrupted by the adventures of this wonderful gang of animals playing soccer together. And so they experience the game. You kind of see how each of the animals is a different player and what they do. And it just creates this like fun narrative that threads through the book and gives you sort of breathing space between all the facts and just the raw data of like an encyclopedia feel. So it also has a really fun graphic novel, kind of very rollicking adventure with a soccer game being played. Just a big, nice hardcover, $29.95. This is in stores now. I think we're going to feel the full impact of World Cup mania in just a few weeks. So if your kids are soccer heads, if you're a soccer head and you want to introduce your kids to the excitement, this is a great book to do that with.
Well, you know how it is whenever there's just a huge, global sporting event kind of a thing like the Olympics or the World Cup or all of this stuff, then everybody suddenly wants to be an expert or gets interested in it. I mean, it just happens like that. So this is
Yeah.
obviously perfect timing and will be huge, as people start, no, I need to learn more about that. And I need to learn more about that. And this really snuck up, didn't it? I mean, it feels like, I don't know, not for you, obviously, but for me, I was like,
Yeah.
wait a second, really? Only 3 weeks? That's right now.
I know. It's upon us. It's finally here.
Great one-stop shopping for information. That's going to be huge, I think.
Yeah.
And it doesn't, I mean, people don't necessarily prepare, but then it's like everybody wants to know right away. And then everybody becomes an expert. And especially the kids have their favorite players and teams. So fun. Thank you, Dave. All right, Kristin, your last book of the day.
Okay. Speaking of fun, today I wanted to share for my last choice the amazing Klutz kit, the Babysitter's Club Friendship Crafts. This is Klutz that it's been around a very long time. You know it, you love it. And let me tell you, this one is so much fun. I asked the office to send me some samples so that I could hold this up and kind of walk you through it. It's an absolute gem. And this is the perfect anecdote, as we were talking about earlier, to scrolling and screens, because what it asks kids to do is to get together for wait for it, afternoon. I mean, can you stand it? How great is that? So this basically takes the classic Anne M. Martin characters from the Babysitter's Club, again, that we all know and love. And it gets them together to craft together and enjoy each other's friendship and conversation. And it's a terrific little kit. It's $20 for, let me tell you, hours and hours and hours of fun. So basically on the cover, you'll see there's thread there and little beads and all kinds of things. Let's see. So let me show you some of the things. What you get is you get embroidery floss, little shrink charms. Back in the day, we used to call these shrinky dinks. So it's kind of like that. Beads, clay beads, little rings to get it all together, spacer beads, letter beads. I mean, you name it. It is filled with goodies. So you'll have things like I don't know if you can see too much, but Stacy's beaded bracelets. Stacy's one of the main characters, of course. We have shrink charms. Marianne's personalized pencil. They do a little pencil craft, which is really cute. Let me see. There's a fortune teller. Oh my gosh, remember those little things?
Yeah.
Yeah, the little thing you put there. Yeah, there's a little fortune teller. And it shows you exactly how to do it. I mean, it has all the instructions. And let me tell you, all the years that Klutz has been around, they have really perfected the art of giving very good instructions. They are easy to follow. They make sense. I'd say the sweet spot for this one for kids is probably, let's see, what's it say? I'd say 8 to 12 is about the right age group for this. And again, it gets kids away from screens. It gets them together to come together. Again, I think one of the themes from what Dave was talking about with Cake Picnic and what you mentioned is community and engagement. with your friends and your family. And so this one is just an absolute gem from Klutz. Again, it's $20 for hours and hours of fun.
Also something, that you can do with your kids. I personally
Yes.
am just a huge fan of all of the Klutz books and
good.
craft. I love them. Now, I was really
I'm so
excited
glad.
when a new Klutz came in because it was like, what new thing? I just think they're really beautifully presented, but also it's like an introduction to like ceramics, pottery. That one is great. And all of them use other skills too, tying and gluing or whatever cutting. I don't know, whatever they utilize in the process of making the thing. But they're unusual, and they're also things that can turn into sort of lifelong passions and creative pursuits. And they're a real introduction to that. Like, they don't look fake, you're using real stuff. And
Right. And
I'm a huge fan. Embroidery. I think they have an embroidery.
They have this really cute one coming out in the fall that's little felt food, like a piece of clothes or it's adorable, and it's so fun for kids, and kids love it. It's always kind of age appropriate, like you said, stuff that they can actually do and share together. And they have been doing this for a very long time and have really mastered the art of doing these
and
crafts.
this stuff is nice, the end product is nice. It doesn't look like one of those, insanely glued together cups that, everybody has to make. Which,
It does. It's really
I currently have 10s in downstairs. Yeah, but it's fun, and it's fun for adults as well. And I think this one's going to be really good too. So it's a great line. I always recommend it.
Oh, good. Okay. I'm so glad. I do too.
And it's a good price too, actually.
It is. For what you get in there, well, what's included, and the craftsmanship of the book itself, it doesn't fall apart. It's made really well. Yeah. $20 is a bargain.
Yeah. Excellent. Thanks, Kristin. Andrea, let's finish it off for the day.
All right. Thank you. Last but not least, I would love to talk about The Fire Agent. This is a doorstop of a novel coming in around 620 pages. The Fire Agent. So this is by David Bearwald, and it's a Spiegel and Grau novel. And this guy is known. He's a platinum selling musician. And he's collaborated with the likes of Dylan, Joni Mitchell, Springsteen. But the guy can write as well. And this novel, it's a historical novel, and it's based on the author's grandfather's adventures as a spy. So it spans 3 continents, 2 world wars, and over the course of a 50-year timeline. And so it takes us from 19th century Germany around the dawn of chemical warfare. We move to Japan's Yakuza and that whole underbelly, to FDR's covert operations during World War II. And then also to the rise of fascism, of course, in Japan and Germany. And then moves into the global dominance of the U.S. during the Cold War. So this novel is meaty, and it reminds me of Alan First novels. It's something that you can really get into, and like the historical detail is riveting, I believe, as well as it's just propulsive in terms of the plot. It's also for readers that like the big novels of Abraham Verghese. So this is definitely an epic story to settle into. Also, I just found out that owner and adult book buyer for Diesel, Rikkers, is a huge fan, so that's nice. So he's going to be hand selling this book throughout the summer and beyond. But we just want to give you a quick heads up here, so you can rush out and get it. The Fire Agent by David Bearwald. And it's a good one. It's a big one.
Yeah, this looks like a great summer read to get stuck into at this point. So much great stuff there. I haven't read this one or seen it yet, but I can already tell it's going to be a very popular one in my house. It's got all of the things that
It really does.
in my house, like spies, World War II.
It really does, doesn't it?
Yeah, amazing. Great book. Thank you, Andrea. And thank you, everybody, for such fantastic books today. What fun. So many great picks. It's so exciting every week to see all of these great books. It was a fantastic spring. It's still spring, right? I don't know what season it is, but there have been so many great books for so long, and we're just rolling into summer with so many fantastic titles as well. A little bit of everything today. So thank you so much to our reps for bringing it today. Andrea Tetrick from PGW, Kristin Rasmussen from Scholastic, and Dave Ehrlich from Chronicle Books. And thank you, Joey, for putting up the covers, producing and editing, and all of the rest of the behind the scenes work. And everybody for joining in and watching this week. We will be back again next week. We will have more reps. We will have more books to discuss and more rabbit holes to go down. Hope you will come back and join us then for more of that. And in the meantime, everybody, happy reading. We will see you next week. Bye, everyone.